20-year-old Sierah Joughin went missing Tuesday night during a bike ride.
What started as a simple bike ride through her quiet Ohio hometown quickly spiraled into a nightmare no one could have imagined. Sierah Joughin was born on February 11, 1996, in Sylvania, Ohio. As the first child in her family, she was adored by her parents and her younger siblings. Growing up in a close-knit, supportive home, Sierah was always full of life and energy. Known for her adventurous spirit and infectious smile, Sierah was the kind of person who could brighten any room. She loved the simple joys in life, spending time outdoors, being with friends, and riding her bike through the cornfields of Ohio. Her warmth and positive attitude made her loved by everyone who knew her. At the time of her tragic death, Sierah was a college student studying business at the University of Toledo. Sierah's future was full of promise, and she had so much left to offer. The day of the disappearance. It was July 19, 2016, a scorching summer day in Fulton, Ohio. Sierah Joughin had just bought a new bicycle and was eager to take it for a ride. She decided to pedal over to her boyfriend, Josh Kolasinski's house, about 7 miles away, for a day together. The couple spent the day riding through the scenic cornfields, enjoying the freedom and quiet of the rural landscape. As the sun began to set, Sierah told Josh it was time for her to head home. They parted ways with a kiss, and Sierah promised to text him when she arrived. But Sierah never made it home. When Josh hadn't heard from her by late evening, he grew worried. Her mother, returning home to an empty house, was also alarmed. Both began searching for Sierah, but as the hours passed, their concerns deepened and the nightmare began. Authorities wasted no time launching an investigation. The quiet fields of Fulton quickly became the center of a desperate search effort. Just half a mile from her home, police made a chilling discovery: Sierah's abandoned bicycle laying in the cornfield. Along with her bike, officers found her sunglasses, a screwdriver, and a blood-stained motorcycle helmet that a neighbor reported seeing on the side of the road near where Sierah vanished. The scene painted a disturbing picture. The items scattered across the ground suggested a struggle had taken place, raising fears that Sierah's disappearance was far more than just an accident. As the hours turned into days, police and the community ramped up their efforts to find Sierah Joughin. Volunteers searched tirelessly through fields, woods, and roadsides, while officers conducted door-to-door investigations, hoping someone had seen or heard something that could lead them to her. With every passing moment, the sense of urgency grew. The helmet, paired with the other suspicious items found at the scene, confirmed that Sierah's disappearance was no accident. The search now focused on finding the person responsible. The prime suspect, James Worley, a 57-year-old convicted felon, soon became the main suspect in Sierah Joughin's disappearance. Worley had a troubling criminal past, including a violent abduction in 1990. When police questioned him about Sierah, his behavior raised red flags. He appeared defensive, nervous, and oddly evasive.
I know we just kind of showed up, so we...
Well, yeah, you kind of showed up. It's a bad reason that you're here, obviously.
Yeah.
I do the best I can each day with what I got within much. But I'm not out there stealing chicks, robbing chicks, stealing people.
The investigation took a chilling turn when police searched Worley's property. Hidden beneath stacks of hay in his barn, they discovered a makeshift dungeon complete with restraints, ropes, and women's underwear. Even more damning, Sierah's DNA was found on items in the barn, linking her directly to the scene. Worley tried to explain away the evidence, claiming the disturbing setup was part of an amateur adult film studio he was creating. But with the overwhelming evidence, including his blood-stained helmet and the dungeon-like barn, his story fell apart. It was clear that Worley was hiding something far more sinister. The gruesome discovery. 3 days after Sierah Joughin's disappearance, the search ended in tragedy. Her lifeless body was found in a shallow grave, just 12 miles from James Worley's home. The gruesome scene shocked everyone. Sierah had been hogtied, gagged, and left in only her underwear and a diaper, a horrifying sign of the brutality she had endured. The discovery sent waves of grief and disbelief through the tight-knit community. Fulton, Ohio, known for its quiet rural life, was now grappling with the harsh reality that one of their own had been taken in such a violent and heartless way.
20-year-old Sierah Joughin went missing Tuesday night during a bike ride.
The Fulton County Sheriff says authorities located the body in an area around County Road 7 Friday night.
Positive identification will be made through either fingerprints or DNA, but at this time, we strongly believe that this is Sierra.
Local, state, and federal investigators searched the grounds and ponds in that area, including the nearby home and barn of the suspect, James Worley, who is currently charged with abduction.
The loss was felt deeply, and the hunt for justice began. Worley's trial. In 2018, James Worley faced trial for the murder of Sierah Joughin. The prosecution laid out a chilling case, showing how Worley meticulously planned his attack on Sierah, ambushing her as she rode her bike. DNA evidence found on the duct tape, underwear, and inside his barn linked him directly to the crime. His violent history, including a previous abduction in 1990, played a key role in proving his predatory nature. Throughout the trial, Worley offered a bizarre defense, claiming the restraints and disturbing items found on his property were part of an adult film studio setup.
Okay, so he was going to run it as an LLC,
Something there. No.
something like that.
Right.
Run it as a business, not as a hobby.
Yeah.
During sentencing, his chilling behavior continued as he taunted Sierra's family with twisted remarks, proclaiming his innocence in a rambling 45-minute speech.
Their hearts are wounded, and they always will be. But if you believe like I believe that Sierra goes on. She may have been murdered and victimized, but she goes on.
Despite his attempts to deny the horrific crimes, the jury saw through his lies, convicting him and recommending the death penalty.
We, the jury, unanimously agree the aggravating circumstances committed by the defendant outweigh the mitigating factors beyond a reasonable doubt, and hereby unanimously find the defendant should be sentenced to death. I will now need to poll the jurors. The court therefore accepts the recommendation of the jury. The court orders that James D. Worley is hereby sentenced to death for the aggravated murder of Sierah Joughin.
Worley's legal team filed appeals to overturn his conviction, arguing that the trial was unfair and that the jury had been prejudiced. However, these appeals were denied, and the courts upheld the death sentence. As of now, an execution date has been set for May 20th, 2025, marking the end of a long and painful chapter for Sierra's family and the community. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this case. Do watch the next video where we dive into the chilling case of Ted Bundy. If you found this story compelling, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories. Goodbye.